All right, welcome back. I look like shit because I'm sick. I don't know what his excuse is, but I'll let him explain that. No, this one's a little different. I don't think I've ever seen a video online. We talked about it. You didn't do this on yours, right? What'd you do? No, yours just threw a belt. Okay. So this is a 24 Polaris Ranger XP 1000 Northstar, yada, yada, yada. It has the infamous HVAC side crank seal leak, and it's had it since I think less than 100 hours on it. And every dealer I call, they go, no, we've never heard of that. You get online in any of your Polaris groups, and everybody and their uncle and their brother and their sister and their cousin and maybe even baby nephew have had this happen on theirs. So again, there's no footage online. You get mixed reviews. I think some of the earlier ones you had to do the seal from the back side of the cover, and I think starting in 21, don't quote me on that, you could pull them from the outside. I'm still not sure. There's not any solid literature. Haven't found much help. So we're about to dig into this, find out for sure, and I can share with y'all, and maybe we can maybe we help somebody else out. And I'll drop down in the description if I remember what all tools we use. It's not many, but we're going to do that. I do have a new crank bolt as they are torque to yield, so it's not reusable. I did grab a new HVAC belt because oil obviously has been getting on it, and I have the new crank seal. I'll show you right here. This is all Polaris. I don't know if you can see the number. And like I said, you want to look up for your machine. Don't sit here and buy the parts that I have if you have a different year model machine. That's the crank bolt. And here's the new HVAC belt. So we're gonna get this pulled apart unless we come across something difficult. I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. But right now, you're just pulling off the vents. And it's pretty self-explanatory. Pop that jazz off, get the cover off, and yeah, good stuff. So I'll be back. All right, so these are all T25 Torx on this cover. So you're gonna pull this outer cover off. Obviously we're not magical, we've already pulled them. They're pretty easy to get to. And here is, you'll see the problem, maybe, I don't know. You see how it's wet right here? And it's kind of wet back here. What happens is the seal behind here leaks, and it gets on your belt because this is where your tensioner, your HVAC, your air compressor, air conditioner compressor, and your alternator is. So it starts slipping and all that jazz, you'll lose AC, all that fun stuff. And this is actually kind of what we thought happened to his bike, but luckily it was just a broke belt and he was able to keep trucking. Mine, not so much. Brand new bike leaking. Thanks, Polaris, we appreciate it. But we're gonna go ahead and get this fixed up. So we're gonna go ahead and pull off this inner cover now, Randall, or can we just go ahead and pull?
Yeah, the inner cover.
We'll pull the inner cover. And so this is it's not like the crank pulley, but it's fin to move air. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that too, and I'll show y'all what that looks like after we get it popped off. We're gonna learn this deal together. So
we're gonna have to cut. I'm gonna cut that zip tie.
Okay. So we have all the bolts out of this deal, and they use a zip tie to hold this alternator harness up out of the way. So we're gonna go ahead and snip this deal, unless we can slide it off. No, we'll just cut it
Here?
Yeah. What you're gonna want to do is make sure you cut through the zip tie and all the wires at the same time. Without unhooking the battery, it'll keep it fun.
This can be kind of tricky.
So I can appreciate that Polaris finally started really doing O-ring seals on these covers. I can appreciate that. Yep, there's a goop. There's the nastiness.
Oh yeah, no shit.
So nasty. So we're gonna keep wrestling this out. Can't hold the camera and do it, so I'm gonna keep wiggling this out, and then I'll show you where we're at. Episode 3 of we don't know what we're doing yet, but we're making progress. So we got the coolant fin taken off of the crank pulley, and like I said, it's just a fin rotor, I guess you would say, to move air, because this is a sealed box and it gets hot as hell in there. So it's two 10mm bolts. They're not crazy tight. None of this stuff is crazy tight, and I've already been wiping, but you can just see the oil residue, and you can see now how it just drips right on the crank pulley, gets all over your belt, causes slippage, you'll lose voltage, all that jazz. And this is a stretch to fit belt, okay? So either you can cut it off or you can roll it off to attempt to save it. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do yet. My belt's not destroyed. We might just cut it off because I do have a new one and we will be putting it on. So, all right. So we got the pulley off. It's what size? 5/8.
Yes.
5/8 impact. It seemed like they had a little RTV on the bolt, which is kind of what we were just looking at. You kind of see it right there. Use a little stubby air impact, nothing crazy. And then what I did was I went ahead and threw it right on the ground after taking it off because it's not held on there very tight at all. You can easily take it off. So just go ahead and note that to yourself. Don't throw it right on the ground like I did, but luckily it's fine. So this is the seal, and you can see all the remnants. I've kind of already been wiping, but you can see the remnants and stuff. So this is the seal that we're replacing, and from what it looks like, it is replaceable from the outside. So I've heard rumors that in 20 or 21 this changed. What year's your bike? A 20? Did it yours look like this too? So it'll probably be a 20 and up deal. But I think before that you actually had to take off this mag cover and change it from the inside. So this is going to be a good news for all you DIY guys that don't want to rely on the old Steelership even though you have warranty. So we're gonna get this popped out. I did buy a seal removal tool. I'm not sure if we're gonna use it or we'll just go the old school way and get some picks or use a wood screw, whatever works. So I don't think this is gonna be difficult to come out. Like I said, my bike is still what I'm gonna say brand new. As you can see, it has no mud or anything on it. So anyway, let's get this pulled out. So they do have a seal removal tool, but both me and Randall have been doing this long enough that we can get away with this, I guess you say, and sometimes we don't get away with it. But there is a lip on the backside of the seal, so you want to make sure not to grab this cover, because if you break that, it's game over. So you just gotta pay attention to what you're doing, and you can get it out with basic tools like this.
All right.
Don't smash your thumb. Don't smash your thumb. This is a approved snap-on seal installer, number HBF E16, in case y'all are wondering. So the numbers typically on most all your seals will always be out, but verify with what you're working on first. But 9 out of 10 times the numbers will always be out like this. And then I think Randall said he saw somebody use a crank pulley to seat it, which honestly I don't see why it wouldn't work. There was a flange on the pulley, which we'll still do. I just like starting it this way, so I've always done them. And before we removed it, it was sitting flush, so this thing was fully seated and sitting flush. And there is a lip on the inside. Do you remember seeing a lip?
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive there's a seating lip. So. The good news is if it don't work, we know how to do it again. Okay. All right, so we got the crank pulley put back on, the seals in. You'll feel the pulley actually bottom out. Like I said, it slips on real easy. And then you have your new bolt, which you can see the sealant that comes pre-installed on the edge is already oozed back out. It looks just like the other one. I didn't video the whole tightening down process because you need to look up the sequence for your machine, as they're not all the exact same. But yeah, this is a torque to yield, so go ahead and make sure you get a replacement bolt. They're cheap enough. And I have a new belt as well that we're gonna go ahead and roll on there. I have the seal off. We went ahead and cleaned everything. Got it brake cleaned, wiped the seal down stuff so we can make sure that we don't have any future leaks. I didn't see anything crazy. I didn't see any real major failures on the seal to kind of point to the smoking gun. But like I said, this thing's been leaking since I got it home. Doesn't look bad, but who knows? And that's probably for me prying it out, so I wasn't looking too far into that. But yeah, so now at this point, we're going to just go ahead and reverse the order of everything of how we took it apart. And let's hope we fix it. But I haven't seen any videos online of people doing the crank seal on their Northstars, 20 up Northstars. And so I figure, well, as always in Jagjagno built fashion, we like to do things we ain't normally used to doing and show everybody how we do it. So hope this helps y'all out. Drop a comment below. Or not, it's all good either way, but hopefully this will help somebody out. So let's get it put together. All right guys, we got it all buttoned up got her back together, got it cleaned up. I drove it a few miles, nothing's obvious, nothing's worn out yet or anything like that. Hopefully we don't have any issues, but that's just about gonna sum it up. Went back together the same way we took it apart. I didn't video any of that stuff. Super common tools, a 10 millimeter 25 Torx, screwdrivers, 5/8, 3/8 impact, your torque wrench for the torque sequence. And I always recommend changing the belt because it's a stretch fit, and also it's a new crank bolt to torque to yield. And just inspect everything else while you're in there. Most of these bikes that you're going to be doing this on are older, so check the tensioner and all that, the idler pulley and all that stuff too. So anyway, I haven't found any videos like this online. Hopefully it helps. Yeah, maybe I can help somebody out. So hey, as always, I appreciate it. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you think you might like any of this type of stuff, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like, drop me a comment, let me know what's up. And yeah, you have a great weekend.